everybody?
It's a little loud.
Just affirming. We're affirming loudly. It is a good morning.
Yeah.
Good morning.
Better?
Yeah.
Is that better for everybody? Great. Well, good morning. I have just a couple of pre-service announcements that I'm going to serve to you in the style of a story. So, for about 3 or 4 months now, I have been really wanting a pair of black and white Chuck Taylor Converse brand new shoes. Really wanted them.
That's not very specific.
Oh, not at all, right? But I was not paying full price for them. They are almost $80. And I said, it's not that I can't afford it. I can afford it, but I don't want to pay that much for a brand new pair of shoes. So I said, okay, God, I want a pair of black and white, brand new Converse tennis shoes. And I'm open to however I want to get those, but I'm not going to pay full price for them. So a couple weeks ago when I was in Ohio, it is a routine of mine with my mother-in-law. We get together. Sometimes we have the kids, sometimes we don't. This time we didn't, so we spent more time in the Goodwill. We went to the Goodwill, and we always go to yard sales depending on the season, and then we go have lunch together. So get in the car, we go to the Goodwill. I'm only looking for one thing. Brand new black and white Chuck Taylor Converse shoes, and I wasn't paying full price for them. So I go to the shoe section, and I'm looking around, and size 7.5, brand new Chuck Taylor Converse shoes. 10% of full price. They were about $7. That's right. That's still on them in the box. I said, thank you, God. And I paid for my shoes. So I know we're all like, ooh, that's awesome, right? Well, that's foundational unity teachings. That's spiritual law in play. And that is what we're talking about in September. So we're doing a whole series called In God We Trust. And that's what we'll be doing from here from the microphone. But we are digging into the 4 spiritual laws of prosperity by Edwin Gaines. And there are 2 opportunities for you to participate in this class study. You can do that online Wednesdays at 1 with me, or you can do it in person Sundays at 9:30 with Leland. If you want to participate in this book study, which I highly recommend as it dovetails very nicely with what we'll be talking about on Sunday mornings, there's a sign-up sheet in the bookstore. So you sign up, let us know if you're doing in person or if you're doing Zoom. And then we need a good email address because there is course study paperwork that we want to send to you so that you can work on your own as well as in the class when we're together. Books are $15. I think there's 5 or so in the bookstore, but you can also order them online, and it's a very easy read. So even if you don't get them till this week, you'll be able to get it and read and move along. And as we're on the topic of prosperity, as you can see, me and a few other of our community members are supporting these very nice t-shirts. Mine's custom, but I'll do a twirl for you. They are a minimum donation of $25. So last night we had the Candlelight Collective here, and we offered the shirts for sale, minimum donation of $25. We have 5 left. Woo-hoo! So what that says is people are interested, 1, in really groovy t-shirts with our church building on it, but 2, supporting a community that is invested in accessibility, because that's what we advertised it as. So we had no issue selling the shirts. If you would like to have a shirt of your own, maybe to wear at the chicken barbecue, or we will also have these at the Westcott Fair at the end of September and have some for sale. There's an order form downstairs for that as well. So
tell us read the back.
You read the back.
Okay. Open wide the heart's door, each breath, every every song and movement gathers to shape the common soul. And
Small print.
Yeah, and then there's some hashtags on there about accessibility. So Thank you.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah. So I think it's a great shirt. It really conveys what we're about, what we're moving forward to. It has the idea of accessibility. So as we think about spiritual laws, we think about prosperity, accessibility will fit into that. And we're really going to use our unity-based principles and skills to make this a real life possibility. I think that's all I have for announcements. Thank you for entertaining me with your time and with my stories. We will, and it's the fourth Sunday, so we're going to have our board president do tithes. Then we'll move on with this Sunday morning with Mark and the Wizard of Oz.
So this month, we tithe to our usual Unity Worldwide Ministry, Silent Unity Eastern Region. The local charity was Beautiful Mess Ministries, and we tithe to Unity of Maui, and for a total of $834.90. So thank you all.
Thank you, Leland, and my announcement is it's playtime, so if you'd like to come out and play with us at our Readers Theater, we would love to have you. If you haven't seen, this will be our fourth production, I believe. And it is Readers Theater. Don't have to memorize lines, not a lot of blocking or anything like that to memorize. Just become a character and read and have a lot of fun. We will be starting rehearsals on Friday, September 5th at 2 o'clock. And we will be doing our performances the weekend of October 17th. If you can't commit to every single rehearsal between those times, don't worry about it. Everybody has some kind of conflict where they have to miss 1 or 2 rehearsals or something like that. If you're interested, please see myself or Deb Warner. Is Deb still here? Or Deb's back there. Or contact one of somebody in the office that pass your information to us. And that was the last thing I was going to say. So anyway, thank you. Please remain seated and take a deep breath, and let's start singing. I send my love over the mountains. I send my love over the sea. I send my love into the heavens, and it returns to me. That's it. I send my love. Sing with me. I send my love over the mountains. I send love coming up here and in this room, and it was absolutely beautiful. Thank you so much. So I invite you to stand for a moment and look around this room and see that love, the love in all the eyes that are here. Give a greeting, hello, namaste, and see the one that you want to see downstairs afterwards for fellowship downstairs. And then please join me to recite our statement of being. And God is all, both visible and invisible. One presence, one mind, one power is all. This one that is all is perfect life, perfect love, and perfect substance. I am an individualized expression of God. I am one with this perfect life, perfect love, and perfect substance. And please be seated and ready for our daily word. Before I get started, for those of you, anybody here that doesn't know, my name is Marc Wildman, and it's the Marc Wildman Show today. So today's daily word is gratitude. And gratitude is my heart's song. Gratitude is my heart's natural response when I think of the best life has to offer. But sometimes when I compare my circumstances with somebody else's, or when I'm distracted by negative thoughts or challenging situations, my closed heart may feel resentment rather than gratitude. I let the first twinge of resentment remind me to return to gratitude. I pause, breathe, and remember the truth of my being, knowing that I am a unique expression of God. I open my heart and realize again the divine presence that is always with me. I mindfully reconnect with the indwelling life, love, wisdom, understanding, and strength that have developed and have helped me grow through even the most challenging experiences of my life. My heart sings with gratitude. Everybody please say that. My heart sings with gratitude. And from Psalms 86:12, I give thanks to you, O Lord my God, with my whole heart. So just sit and think of that for a moment. My heart sings with gratitude. And let us know that in gratitude, we are truly blessed. So I would like to invite Jacob up. And he's going to talk on our 5 principles.
Yeah, good morning, everyone. Morning. So our 5 principles, in short, God is, I am, I think, I pray, I do. The one that comes for me this week as I made my considerations of what to talk about is, of course, the thumb on that 5, the doing. Because it's, I'm a pretty heady guy, for those of you who know me.
No. Saying so.
And the illusion, I mean, it's a culture that's very heady. We live in a world where it's very much about the talking self, very much coming out of our religious traditions, which for quite a long time has been very much about having the right beliefs and not having the wrong beliefs. And that kind of struggle, strife, and anxiety is part of the backstory for many of us having arrived here, trying to find a way through that to a more authentic and more embodied way of being at peace in our quest for spiritual nourishment. And given that our emphasis is at the same time about having the power of thought to change your experience of the world, I can get stuck in some loops on that. What is the right way to go? Where should I be putting my energies? What kinds of plans should I be laying? What's, especially in times when things are as difficult as they are, when you look out into the world to figure out what's true, what's wise, and perhaps where to go in them. And luckily, I am not alone in this, besides having many friends to call on when I find myself stalling out in action, thinking plenty of things. I can get a little head refresh by calling a friend, by sitting in a time of prayer, by letting others do for me what I'm not able to do for myself at that time, to do for me that I'm not able to do, because it's not just about having the thought in mind. That's great, but thoughts are eternal principles when we're thinking true thoughts. They are beyond time and space, which is great, but we've got to live day to day. So we need to bring that eternity, the truths of the real world, into this experience. And we can only do that moment by moment. We can only practice one day at a time, which again, luckily I have a Tai Chi teacher who reminds me of that as he shakes his head. It's like, you've got to practice, but you can only practice one day at a time. You're not going to get it all at once. It also reminds me of the story of when Jesus sent those disciples out in the boat ahead of him, and then he catches up with them by, walking on the water. Peter says, if you call me, I can walk on the water too. So Jesus says, all right, Peter, you're on, come on the water. And he does walk on the water until his feeling knocks him down, until his thinking and his feeling gets him out of whack again. What could it have been like if Peter had been able to keep on going, if he hadn't been so hung up on what he was thinking and just doing the thing? That's the challenge that falls before us, I think. And sometimes you just gotta act yourself into right thinking rather than think yourself into right action.
Thank you, Jacob. And now Cindy is going to come up and bless our prayers.
Morning.
Morning.
Okay, so we just center ourselves right now in this time and space. With the next breath, let yourself be open and receptive to the inspiration of Spirit. We take these prayers that have been put in the prayer box, these intentions that have come from the hearts and minds of those that have come this morning, or maybe they dwell in the heart and mind of those that have not written them down. But we know that all is already received in Spirit. And we say infinite and eternal presence, that one power and presence that in which we live and move and have our very being is active in every situation and circumstance, every person in need. And the needs are already being fulfilled. And we say, opening ourselves to the alignment with the Christ presence, we become open and receptive to receiving the answers, the path, the healing, the outpouring, the love, the life, and the light of the Christ in which we live. And we say thank you for receiving us in our humanness, that we may embrace ourselves in your divinity. And it is so. Amen.
Amen.
And we'll have some beautiful music.
Woohoo!
And then you have to listen to me speak. Apologies for that.
When all the world is a hopeless jumble and the raindrops tumble all around.
which movie trivia was cut from the movie several times by Louis B. Mayer because he thought it dragged out the film, and it went on to become the #1 song in the country. So the journey home. In The Wizard of Oz, Dorothy's journey symbolizes the quest for self-discovery and the realization that qualities she seeks, courage, wisdom, and love, are already within her. It's a story about overcoming inner insecurities, recognizing one's own strength, and finding happiness not through external validation, but through appreciating what one already possesses. The journey also represents the challenge and the growth experienced throughout life, highlighting the importance of friendship, perseverance, and the power of believing in oneself. I'm done. So Dorothy represents the soul moving through life as the individual. She's us. That is our journey she's on of self-discovery. I found this interesting note about Frank L. Baum, the author of The Sound of Music, if you didn't know The Sound of Music. The Wizard of Oz, don't know where that came from. And as you know, has many local connections to the central New York area, as well as his wife. So, to help them get through the tough times, Gage, Baum's mother-in-law, imparted to her daughter and son-in-law a faith that she called the crown blessing of my life. The Theosophical Society, I had never heard of that, the city that people have heard about that, founded by the world traveler Helena Provana Blavatsky in 1875, offered up a newfangled amalgam of Buddhism and Hinduism that spoke of following life's golden path to enlightenment. I love that. Golden path to enlightenment, Yellow Brick Road. A journey to find the wisdom, compassion, and courage within. While Baum actually walked a physical yellow brick road as a teenager on his way to boarding school, I don't know what that was all about, but it was his reflection on theosophy later in life that seems to give the famous footpath in his story its higher meaning. Theosophy appealed to both Frank and Maud, his wife, because it seems to be a way to transcend the disappointments of ordinary life. Members of the Theosophical Society often discussed how to meditate so intensely that they could realize out-of-body experience in a mystical dimension called astral plane. And that was from Evan Schwartz in the book Matilda Jocelyn Gage, The Unlikely Inspiration for the Wizard of Oz. So over the rainbow generally signifies a place of hope, a place of dreams, and often an unattainable distance. How many times do we think we want to be there? Somewhere over the rainbow. It represents a yearning for a better place and a place where our troubles melt away like lemon drops. Wouldn't that be so nice? But I find that here. And I find that in God, and I find that in unity. So last week, Rev Bessie talked about the Bagger Vance film and the journey of finding your way back to that clarity, back to that purpose, back to that original spirit that you have within you, that we start out with, that gets trodden upon and stepped on and mud thrown at as we start progressing through life. And half of that is our own baggage that we put into our heads. So we're going to be looking at moving forward, and even when we lack the courage. Everyone gets knocked down along the way from time to time, but the choice is yours to get up, to brush yourself off, and move on. The journey emphasizes that the true treasures, the brain, the heart, the courage within, and home are all found in ourselves. Dorothy embarks down that yellow brick road, running away from home and leaving the familiar behind and entering the unknown. So as we all know, a tornado comes, carries Dorothy off to this strange land, this strange world called Oz. And she inherits a pair of red shoes, the ruby shoes. And everybody knows that in the book, they are silver shoes, which of course represent coin. But, movie trivia fact, the director decided that ruby-colored red shoes showed up much better on Technicolor than silver shoes. So they embark her, so first of all, Dorothy encounters these munchkins, these little people, in her first step of her journey to Oz. Small people representing youth. Her youth. She's young. Judy Garland played that part. She was much older than looking like a 10 or 12-year-old little girl. So they send her down this yellow brick road. Don't know why. And it makes me think of Ease On Down the Road from The Wiz, a counterpart of The Wizard of Oz. And it's ease on down the road, ease on down the road. Don't you carry nothing that might be a load. There's the key to that song. Don't carry nothing that might be a load. And starting in our teenage years, usually most of us, we start adding that baggage to ourselves. Okay? And then along that road, down that yellow brick road, we start picking up other people's baggage. Yes?
Yes.
Okay? And that load starts to get real darn heavy. If you notice, Dorothy just has a little bag, a little basket in it with some stuff. But the point is, as we travel down that road, let's not try to take that baggage with us. I think Reverend Bessie kind of alluded to that here during her time here, that it's like we looked at our past here, and perhaps there was still some baggage that some people were carrying, that it's like we need to let that go. That's part of our past. We need to move on and be looking towards our future. So Dorothy goes down that road, and what's the first thing she comes to is a fork in the road. There's 4 different ways for her to move and go. It's decision time. And who does she happen to fall across? As a man with no brain. But the point is that there's a decision that needs to be made. Thought that needs to happen. And we all come to those points in our lives where decisions start to be made, and we start doubting ourselves. If I go that way, what's going to happen? Go that way, what's happening? Should I still keep on going straight forward? And we start to doubt ourselves. But we go with our head and our gut feeling and keep on moving forward. And as we start to continue moving forward to in that beautiful road, what happens? So much here in Central Europe, potholes. Potholes, 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 and orange cones, caution. And boy, oh boy, is that happening right now. Those things come along and we need to try to avoid them so that we don't damage ourselves. For us, it's damaging our cars or something like that. So we need to watch out for those potholes, not trip, don't fall, but keep on moving forward, ease on down the road. So whenever I am on my spiritual journey, I receive divine guidance continually. And it is up to me to heed it. That's that gut feeling. And so many of us know somebody that's just like stuck in that rut of like, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? And I was telling them, what's your gut telling you to do? Okay? That chakra that's right here. What's that gut telling you to do? That's the way to go. Divine guidance does me little good if I doubt it or feel too hesitant to act upon it. God gave us that gift of ingenuity, that gut feeling, that what should I do? So between here, that brain, and that gut feeling, it's that decision to move forward, or else we get stuck in the past. So Dorothy and the Scarecrow choose a path and they start to continue on their journey, and then they encounter the Tin Man. And there she encounters somebody who's stuck, literally stuck in mid-swing. Okay? And he needs help. He needs help. And there's some communication. He tells Dorothy, they figure out that he needs to be oiled. And they oil his mouth and he can move his mouth, and they oil his arm and he can move his arm. And what's the Tin Man looking for? A heart, love. And what does Dorothy do for him? She nurtures him. She helps him. She shows him love. Coincidence? And of course, there they encounter the Wicked Witch of the West again, which is a reminder of those potholes and those things and those dangers along the way. They're always there, those bullies in the playground, in the workplace, wherever you go, they are out there. And the thing is that you need to have love in your heart to continue and bless them and say, that's their issue, not mine, to carry. I don't want that load down my road. And I always joke and kid and whatever that I love those beautiful 5 principles that we talk about each week here, and I tell people sometimes that they're really lucky that I use my powers for good and not for evil. Then they go and they get to the scary forest. Have you all been there? Those scary times in our life where we're treading through the darkness of the woods, the canopy above us, and how scary it is, and each step we take is a careful step moving forward. And I'm scared and I'm frightened and I want to go home. And I want to be home where it's safe and warm and comforting. So of course they run across the lion, who has no courage, and Dorothy slaps him and beats him up. She's actually the bully. But it is their courage that they're walking through that forest. They have no idea what they're coming out of that forest, or if that forest will ever end. But they have the courage to keep moving forward. So just like us here at Unity, Dorothy walks down the yellow brick road and is joined by companions. And she bonds with them along the way. And as a team, they work together to overcome adversity and complete harrowing tasks to get what they think that they need. And when they finally get to that wizard, be careful what you wish for. they get that quid pro quo deal from the wizard. And he's a bully. If you watch the film, the clip, when they enter and they see him, he calls them all kinds of names. You clinking, clunking, clack of metal composity, or whatever. But Dorothy is yet the meek and the mild. Because inside all of us, we are meek and mild and easily hurt. So the journey here is to enlighten ourselves and not be duped into something we did not expect. Through my life, I've heard so many horrible stories about churches and strict disciplinary actions. And the actions for disobeying. We've heard those sad stories. And I love that here at Unity, as we take our journey forward that we looked at with Reverend Bess, what are we looking for? What do we want? What do we see in our community, in our faith, and what is our spirit? And I love that there's the 10 Commandments out there. We all know them, hopefully, and try to abide by them. But I love our unity principles more. And that's what I look for in our walk, in our spiritual path, that journey that we're taking here, is that we can look at those unity principles and use those every day in our life. We don't emphasize you're a sinner, you're going to hell, you're bad, you need to come here every week to be redeemed for your sins. That's not us, at least not to me. It's about love, friendship, community, unity, and just beloving and being on a path, to a spiritual path together. Our journey, our home. How many people, and it was a wonderful turnout, I think, for Reverend Bessie or whatever, and one of the questions she asked us, and I believe this all the time, and I think we all do here, how many people is this home for? And how many is this is my family. And on my journey, I've hit a lot of potholes, a lot of walls, a lot of adversity, and I have found that this church, Unity, has been my saving grace. And I'm sure for many of you sitting here, that this church has been your saving grace. I love what Reverend Pat said, is that we need people to come here because they need us, not that we need them. And I never really knew that I needed unity in my life. And I came here for a while and then realized I can't live without this. And please don't think I'm not advocating the 10 Commandments. Yes, you should be following them all. So whether we know it or not, we all come here looking for something. Perhaps it's something that we lack: wisdom, love, a heart, courage, which to me is faith. But what is wonderful is that each person that comes through those beautiful red doors enters and brings a gift to us that they possess. Yes. And it adds and enhances our community along our way and our journey. Like I said, Reverend Pat had us look back. What brought you here? What made you stay? What makes you keep coming back every week? And as much as we try not to be stuck in the past and living, there are good things that coming here was a good and great thing for me. So like I said, Dorothy starts out her journey in Munchkin Land with small people representing youth. When they finally arrive at the Emerald City, they're adult people that greet them. And so it shows that along the path, Dorothy goes from her childhood and enters into adulthood. Because along the way, she's gotten her wisdom, her compassion, and her love, and her courage in the times of adversity. Here at Unity, we come each week to continue our journey down that path, to gain that wisdom, that faith, that courage to go out there into that world that sometimes is cruel. We're on that golden path of spirituality and enlightenment. We look over the rainbow for the possibilities and the ways to look at ourselves and to look at our community. We put beside our egos that can overtake us and down the wrong paths. And we search for our authentic selves. So one of the things that came to my mind through this whole thing was Matthew 6.34. It's do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow brings worries of its own. Today's troubles are enough for today. So in the end, we seek home, our abodes that we live in, where we find comfort and solace, but yet we come out here to seek community, love, acceptance in this place, in this building, right here, right now, where you're supposed to be. This church is our home. This church is our family. This church is our people. And we're on a path, and we've hit potholes and extra places, extra roads to which road do we go down? And we choose them together as a team, and we work together. And we continue to spiritually grow in our home. So I'd like you to get comfortable, close your eyes for a moment. Take a deep breath. Walking in the dark, I shine a flashlight on my path. I may not see the bends in the road ahead, but the beam of light highlights each and every step. Likewise, my spiritual journey does not depend on knowing exactly where I am headed and how I will get there. It does not depend on knowing exactly where I am headed and how I will get there. My faith is the perfect guidance. My faith, the perfect guidance. And God will enlighten and illuminate my way, one step at a time. I feel my faith strongly through prayer and meditation. Connected to my intuition, spirit within is my guide. will never lead me astray. And in spirit, I rely on its presence to build my confidence and help me to trust in myself. Even when I get caught up in negativity and fear, I return to my inner spirit for enlightenment and guidance. Down that path, over that rainbow, to that journey home. 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 And you can slowly, gently stop along this journey that you're on presently. Open your eyes and see this home, this place, this house. You are safe. You are loved. And you are spiritually enlightened. Amen. Welcome back home. And now, for more reflection, it's our reflective time to bring our love and our offerings to support this home that we love and that we cherish. So today we recognize that giving and receiving are one and the same. Whether you give financially, in person on Sundays, or online, simply by being present with us, your participation enlightens our community. So take this moment and this time to reflect silently, reflecting on what you have received today, be it guidance, inspiration, or connection. To give back to you, we invite you to join in our gratitude walk. Please come forward in meditation and receive an affirmation and a word of guidance for the week ahead. If you're not able to come forward, please raise your hand and an usher will come to receive your tithe and offering. Come as you're able. And we'll enjoy some beautiful music by our beautiful Nora. And my gratitude, my abundance today is to have two beautiful women with two beautiful voices to share in this love and experience with me today. Thank you, Norman, and thank you, Martin. And I'd also like to acknowledge we have a guest from far, far away. Would you like to introduce yourself and tell us where you're from?
Hi everybody, my name is Chance. I live in Ethiopia.
Woohoo!
I work for the UN and I'm Mark's son.
Thank you, Chance, for joining us today. Sorry to put you on the spot, but you seem to handle it fine. All right, and let us affirm divine love
As me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I see. Thank you, God. You are my source.
And speaking of our blessings, our little ones, our little people that are down on beginning their journeys, we bless our youth
And see them empowered and connected to their community, to their Creator, and always guided by the loving Christ light within. We have an inclusive and inspiring youth and family ministry.
All right, and let us stand and go forth with our benediction. The light of God surrounds us.